All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
With the brothers from the Great Millstone Atlanta camp coming at you once again with an edifying lesson. We pray that it's edifying for those that's listening. But before we get into it, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Peace, love, and safety to the hopeful elect. All right, so we was just here discussing the, our camp does a word of the week. And this week, the word was bravery. Mm-hmm. All right. So we want to go into this word bravery. And, without further ado, can you get that definition, Baba Kashaw?
Yeah. So this is the word bravery in the etymology online, 1540s, daring, defiance, boasting, from French, bravery, from bravere to brave, or else from a cognate Italian bravia, from bravia. So basically what it's saying is that you're daring. You're not the type of person to go with the status quo. You stand against the status quo. And I'm gonna get the definition, and it says courageous behavior or character. So in the times that we're living in, we're already displaying, through the work, going out and doing the work, doing the videos, putting ourselves out there on display. We're already showing a form of bravery. But moving into the future, the things that are about to happen on this earth, you're going to be required to have a higher level of bravery. Right. And you're going to have to be able to, that's going to go hand in hand with faith. And Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You see, because we're about to come into some hard times.
If I can say real quick, don't be brave without Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
That's death. Well, that's just straight up death, man. You got to have Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and your faith in order to be brave in these times.
Well, we about to get it in the book of Deuteronomy because, we were just talking about that Deuteronomy 31 and 6.
I got to pull it up right here.
All right, go ahead.
All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6. It says, "Be strong and of good courage, fear not, nor be afraid of them." And that them is talking about our enemies, these heathens. Mm-hmm. Because, when you go into Revelations 12 and 12, it talks about this devil coming down and having great wrath. And that's coming real soon. And that great wrath is right around the corner. All right, we can already see through his policies and the things that he's going into now, that he's what he's going to be pushing. We won't be able to speak the truth. The famine of the word is coming. He's going to come after the men of the Lord. We're going to be looked at as terrorists. All these things. We're going to be persecuted. But hey, we still standing in great boldness. When it comes to talking to these heathens, we letting them know what the Lord has planned for us and what He has planned for you. All right, so that's a form of bravery, just like the brother was saying. So, hey, that them is talking about these heathens. I'm going to continue. It says, For the Lord thy power, he it is that doeth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee.
And that right there is really where the power is out of that whole thing. The Lord is telling us to be of good courage, not for our own sake. I mean, not by our own power, but because He's with us. You see what I'm saying? Be of good courage because I'm with you. You ain't got to worry about nothing because I'm with you. Now, coming into the days that we're coming into, coming into the time that we're coming into, you have to believe that the Heavenly Father, through His Son, Yahweh Shai, is with you. All right? So this is a quick one. This is Hebrews 11 and 1. It says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." So in the times that we're coming into, you got to have that type of faith to believe that the Lord is seeing, is there. You know what I'm saying? But He ain't there, if you know what I mean. But you have to believe that because the scriptures say that without faith it's impossible to please Him. You know what I'm saying? For He is a rewarder of those that diligently seek Him. So you have to have faith in the Lord to believe that the Lord is with you. and then you're gonna be brave. You got it out.
Right. Yeah, I want to go to real quick because this is going to be the ultimate point of our courage, our bravery, and our boldness when right before Yahushua comes to deliver us. Lord's willing, be part of that number. We still gonna be standing in great boldness of this devil. Mm-hmm. All right, and where I'm going. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, "Then shall a righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors." But the main thing there, it says the righteous man. It's like I said, you can't be brave without Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And then not only that, you got to be a righteous man. You can't be a nigga. You can't be your old man in the spirit, who you was before the truth. You can't be none of that. Mm-hmm. You can't think that your regular old, guns in your house is going to protect you from the devil that made them guns and allow you to get them, allowed you to purchase them. He know who has what in their house. This devil, he tracks everything.
That's right.
He as a matter of fact, he's trying to get in more control of tracking everything that you do by the C-hip. And that's going to be a form of bravery as well, knowing that we don't know where our food is going to come from. We don't know where we're going to be living. We don't know what dangers we're going to come across, but we have our faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. We know that we're going to be fed. We're going to be rejoicing in that time. All right. This devil is not going to be able to touch us. We're going to have chariots guiding us. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have the angels having charge over us. Everything that's written of in Psalms chapter 91. And that chapter right there builds your faith, man. Extremely builds your faith. And it gets you ready for that moment where you're going to have to be super brave in that time. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to continue. Verse 2, it says, "When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear." All right, we're going to take the bravery away from this devil, man, and these heathen nations. They're going to be troubled with terrible fear when they see what type of power that the Lord has given us. All right. They're not going to be brave at all. They trusting their corner weapons. They trusting all of these things that they create with their own hands. But we trusting in things that we can't see, just like the brothers just read in Hebrews chapter 11. Mm-hmm. The things the substance of things we can't see. That's our faith. That's our hope. And that's what's going to make us brave. Right. All right. Did I finish up? Terrible. "And they shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all they look for." Mm-hmm. Verse 3, "And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, This was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor. How was he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot is among the saints?" Why? Because the Lord raised up certain men to have this faith and to be brave in those times. Mm-hmm. All right, you got some up?
Yeah. So, the times that we're coming into are going to be times like that has never been nor shall ever be according to the scriptures. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to go into account that the brother brought out a account in 2 Maccabees, the 7th chapter, because this is the type of courage that you're going to have in this day to be able to, and this is the level that the Lord is going to have to be with you to have this type of courage. This is 2 Maccabees 7. It says, "And it came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips." So, these 7 brothers, they were taken up and they were given, they were presented with pork, and they were given an opportunity to eat of it, and they said, "No, we're not eating of it." Okay, now that's just gonna be like it is coming up when you're not gonna have access to food, but you're gonna have to denounce the C-hip. You know what I'm saying? And everything that it comes with it, right? You're gonna have to be able to do that. And it says, "But one of them spake first, said thus, And one of them that spake first said thus, What wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers. You see? So the scriptures go into he that loses his life for my sake shall find it, and he that saves his life as his own shall lose it, roughly paraphrasing. Right? So, we got to be ready to die for this truth for the sake of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And those are the times that we're coming into, and this is a clear example of that. And it says, Then the king, being enraged, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot. Forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first, and to cut off the uttermost parts of his body, and the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on. So they cut off his rod, his tongue, they probably cut off his arms, you know what I'm saying? They cut off pieces of his body, right? And then they had a hot cauldron because they was about to fry him, This is a crazy punishment. And who would think to do such a thing to a person just because they're maintaining their integrity? The wicked man would, And it says, Now when he was thus maimed and all his members, he commanded him being yet alive to be brought to the fire and to be fried in a pan. And as the vapor of the pan was good for a space dispersed, that was huge, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying, Thus, so they're like, yeah, we dying for the truth. You know what I'm saying? They was encouraging one another that the Lord was with them, and this was a noble cause to die for, right?
If I can make a quick point.
Go ahead.
Now, back then, it wasn't no Yahweh Shah coming back and raising the dead.
Mm-mm.
So they was dying. They was just going to be dead. They was going to have to feel that pain, the sting of death. But in this time, if we, endure to the end, and we be those martyrs that lose our life in the end, we still going to come right back. Mm-hmm. Yahweh Shah going to raise us back up. So even being brave until your death in this time, it's going to be as bad as how brave they was back then.
Well, but see, too, as you start going into this, later on in the chapter, the brothers actually speak. They say that we're going to come back in the regeneration, but you ain't. You see what I'm saying? So they still, even though it was before Yahweh Shai, they still understood Yahweh Shai was coming. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's verse 6. It says, Now, verse 5, Now when he was thus maimed and all of his members, he was commanded to be, him being alive, yet to be brought to the fire and to be fried in a pan. It's crazy. And as the vapor of the pan was good for a space dispersed, they exhorted one another with their mother to die manfully. So they were, let's do this. Mm-hmm. The Lord power looked upon us, and in truth had comforted us. So the Spirit of the Lord was on them. Okay? So you got to believe that in that time, the Spirit of the Lord going to be with you. And if you got to go, you got to go. But hey, there's a reward for you. You go first. You're going to be raised up first.
Hey, prime example, Rashad, Meshach, and Abednego.
Yeah.
They went in that fire brave, man. They went in that fire brave. And when they got there, Yahweh Shah met them.
Exactly. Yahweh Shah was in that flame, And that's how the Lord going to be with us. Because the scriptures talk about how the Lord know how to save the righteous from the day of trouble. Mm-hmm. It says, and as Moses in his song, which witnessed to their faces, declared, saying, and he shall be comforted in his servants. So when the first was dead after this number, they brought the second to make him a mocking stock. And when they had pulled off the skin of his head with the hair, they asked him, Wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of the body? So they took his scalp and started, his hair, and started pulling it off using his hair. And as he was in agonizing pain, like cruel, just the most worst treatment. This is why Esau getting his. They're like, we're gonna tear up the rest of your body, man. You gonna just eat the pork? And he like, nah,
Man, that's more reasons. Like the stuff that Esau did in the past, it's a reason for him to be have his ass kicked every day in all kingdom. But the stuff that he's about to do, man, that's it's gonna be too many reasons for this devil to have his ass kicked, every day, every second of his slavery, man.
That's right.
It's too many. The things that this devil is about to do to all people was about to come around the corner for all people. Man, it's gonna be way too many reasons to really mess this devil up in that time.
Yeah, man. And he had everything coming. He's built up for all of this that's coming for him. This is verse 8. He says, but he answered in his own language and said, no, whether he also received the next torment in order as the former did. So he was like, hey, man, I ain't going to eat that in his own language. So he answered in Hebrew and told him, no. So what did they do? They started, tormenting him the way they tormented their brother. And when he was at the last gasp, he said, thou, like a fury, takest us out of this present life, but the King of the world shall raise us up, who had died for his laws unto everlasting life. So who was he talking about? He was prophesying about Yahweh Shai even at that time. You know what I'm saying? And he said in this verse 10, and I'm gonna wrap it up. It says, and I wanted to get to a point. It says, after him was the third made a mocking stock, and when he was required, he put out his tongue, and that right soon, holding forth his hand manfully, and said courageously, courage, bravery, these I had from heaven, and for his laws I despised them, and from him I hope to receive them again. Insomuch that the king and they that were with him marveled, like, bro, we maiming you, and you still got the audacity to stand on your principles. It says, insomuch that the king and they that were with him marveled at the young man's courage, for that he nothing regarded his pains. You see, so the Spirit of the Lord was on them, because even though they were in pain, they were still acting very manly. So it could have been that the Lord made it to where they didn't even feel that shit. Even though they seeing it, they ain't feeling it. They locked in. But and it goes on to even talk about the mother. You know what I'm saying? How the mother was cheering them on. And telling them to that they need to be dying for the Lord, roughly paraphrasing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So even the women back in that day had a level of integrity that we're gonna need to have coming into the times we're going into. But that's all I had. You got it out.
Okay. I'm just gonna give the main reason. I'm just gonna let the scripture speak, because we looking for the kingdom. We not just a bunch of idiots out here, just being bold and coming up against Esau, Edom, and our own people just to talk shit. No, we doing this so we can inherit everlasting life, Slaki, in the kingdom of heaven. Mm-hmm. And even everything that we go through now, and when you go into Revelations 20, it talks about, certain men gonna be beheaded. John the Revelator saw the souls of the men that was beheaded. Like, this devil is really gonna come down on our people. But listen to this, Romans chapter 8 and verse 18. It says, for I reckon that the suffering of the present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. All right, so even dying for this truth, man, that's still it's not even compared to what we're gonna receive when Yahweh Shah come with that reward.
Time, man. I was just thinking of this precept I'm looking for right now. Yeah. This is it right here. This is Psalm. This is the book of Psalms 73 and 20. It says, as a dream when one waketh, so, O Lord, when thou wakest, thou shalt despise their image. So I don't know for sure. You know what? I don't think this is the one that I wanted. But basically, the precept that I wanted was talking about how we gonna wake up as if all this shit was just a dream,
a bad dream,
like a bad dream, And I think that was it, but I'm not 100% sure. You know, like it says in Psalms 73 and 20, as a dream when one waketh. You know what I'm saying? So when we wake up, it's gonna be like, shit, what was that? You know, and we're gonna look down and, you know, see that, hey, we in the kingdom. You know
yeah, we're gonna see everything that the Lord gave us. We're like, man, fuck all that.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, like so we didn't want to you know, go too long, but we do know that, you know, the scriptures talk about, there's one more precept I want to give, but I just quote it: endure hardness like a good soldier. You know, because we're about to enter into some hard times, and that hardness has a lot to do with being brave. You know, and that bravery is directly correlated to your relationship with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That's why it's important right now to where you have the opportunity to draw closer to the Lord, you need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't be going into the day of trouble uncertain. Is the Lord with me? No, you gotta know.
You gotta know.
You know, and that's what the Lord requires. As again, without faith, it's impossible to please the Most High. So you have to have faith, and there has to be a level of surety within that faith. So unless you had anything else, bro, we can close out.
No, that was point out.
All right, kind of. So with that, we're gonna end it off by giving all praise and going honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem,
Rakakadash. Double honors for the elder and the apostle, great millstones. And next time, we say shalom.
Shalom.